Hi, welcome back to Golf Training Hacks. So how could setting up at a dress like Jack Nicklaus ever be a problem? I mean, how could copying anything Jack does actually be a problem? Well, it's like anything else, you know. Jack is Jack and we're all different, and he's one of the best golfers ever. So, you know, maybe you can't do things exactly like Jack did, but we're talking about something specific now. At a dress, Jack tended to roll his shoulders a little bit more forward than may be good for the rest of us. Right, so Jack, when he was at address, tended to have some more flexion in his upper back, and that was great for Jack because he could get in and out of that position very easily. So it's okay if you set up like this, but you have to be able to get your shoulders back, and you have to be able to rotate out of that position. The problem is a lot of us can't, because a lot of us are stuck in something called upper cross syndrome. Your shoulders are rolled forward and kind of dumped into your midline. Your T-spine has a little bit too much flexion in it, and actually your chin is protruded out a bit. So when you're in this position, which is actually very easy to get into when you're at address, I mean, it's very easy to kind of reach and crunch those shoulders in and flex that upper back, whereas you really want to be generally more upright in a neutral spine. We always talk about the neutral spine in golf training hacks, because if you're stuck in that, you can't rotate. So if you're stuck with your shoulders forward and you can't get your scapula, which is basically your shoulder, to move back and forth, when you go into your rotation, that's going to be stuck and you're not going to be able to retract your scapula that well. The other thing is, to move well, and we're all about movement quality in golf training hacks, you want your joints in a good position. When your joints in a poor position, you don't move well. So your upper back has some normal flexion in it, but when it's hyperflexed or has too much flexion, those vertebrae are not in the position that they work best at. So what happens is then it becomes more difficult to rotate, and it also increases your risk of injury. So that's why you don't necessarily want to copy what Jack does at address, unless you can get in and out of that position. We really don't want to copy anybody necessarily. We all have our own physical capabilities. Certainly we want to model our swings based on the best swings out there, but there are some things that you may not want to do. So if you're stuck in upper cross syndrome, if that's your default posture and you can't get out of it, the best thing to do is to begin to work on normalizing your posture. So you don't want to necessarily sit up like that in the default position. You want a more neutral position, and you're going to have to work on that if your default position is the upper cross syndrome. So guys, I hope that helps, and we look forward to seeing you in upcoming lessons and videos.